It's amazing to me that some people still believe that the ANC can bring on change. But before I get into that, ladies and gentlemen, please leave a like on this video, share it far and wide, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get into it.
When people zone
have our smallanyana skeletons.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. If ANC is back in power in the Western Cape, there'll be change, says party supporter.
Oh, brother.
Ramaphosa delivered the keynote address at the party's 113th birthday rally at the Mandela Park Stadium in Khayelihle on Saturday. Eyewitness News spent the day speaking to ANC supporters at the rally, and most had a thing or two to say about unemployment. The latest figures show that more than 32% of South Africans are jobless, with the Western Cape having the lowest unemployment rate. Ramaphosa said, despite the country being led by a multi-party government, the organization's plan to address unemployment will be implemented. We will indeed, through the ability of our economy, create wealth and employment for all. Again, the ANC was in power for 30 years, okay? They have done nothing in the rest of the country, okay, besides the Western Cape, to do anything for people, right? Like there's unemployment rate is so freaking low. At one point, it was the lowest in the world. So if the ANC can't fix the other provinces, how on earth do you expect them to fix the Western Cape province? Not that there's anything to fix, really. The DA is just preventing the rot from entering the Western Cape. If the ANC was in power in the Western Cape, you can bet your bottom dollar that the unemployment rate would be just as bad as the rest of the country, or even worse. At least the ANC support seems to be dwindling, but the little bit that still support them really boggles my mind how they can think this way. Have a look at what one of these supporters said. If the ANC can be put back into power in the Western Cape, there will be change, especially to eradicate unemployment among young people. As you can see, the majority of people in this crowd are young people and they're unemployed. Some people just don't get it. It's more than just creating jobs. First of all, the government can't create jobs even if they wanted to. There are opportunities that they can give or do that will create opportunities for jobs. But it's not like the government can be like, boom, here's a job, take it. It's not how it works. That's number one. Number two, the Western Cape, which is led by the DA at the moment, has done a great job of making sure that the unemployment rate is not as bad as in the rest of the country. And I've said this before. I think if the DA had full control of the Western Cape, it would put the ANC to shame even more. I think we'd see a very prosperous Western Cape, and the unemployment rate would drop even more. Now, this individual is obviously a die-hard fan of the ANC, and that's fine. He has every right to be, but it's just amazing to me that the ANC can still have this grip on people after everything the ANC has done to South Africans. And I'm going to say what probably a lot of people don't want to say. I think this is a major education problem. It's well known that if your people are educated, they make more educated decisions when it comes to voting. And the ANC doesn't want an educated population because they know an educated population will probably turn on the ANC. So keep your people gullible and they'll always follow you. Well, at the moment, at least 40% of South Africans will follow them. But even those who didn't vote for the ANC, it doesn't mean that they voted for another party. They just didn't vote at all, which is a whole another problem. Their loyalty is still with the ANC, and they have this false sense of hope that the ANC is just magically going to change overnight and then things will get better. But it's been 30 years of the ANC being in power and nothing has changed. If anything, things are a little bit worse. Yes, African people, black people are free now in South Africa. There's a lot of laws that support them, and that's fine. We don't want apartheid back. I agree with that 100%. But even when the ANC took over in 94, South Africa was in a better situation than it is now. And that's my point. The ANC didn't continue that prosperity. Instead, they turned the ship towards the iceberg instead of avoiding it. And the spin doctors at ANC are very good at fooling a very gullible population, at least when it comes to the poor. And look, I know that this might be some hard truths for some of you to hear, but this is the situation we're in. And unless we address them and we talk about them, nothing's going to change. And one thing that definitely needs to change is the ANC being in power. They shouldn't be 40% in power. They shouldn't be 30% in power. They shouldn't even be 10% in power or 1% in power. They should be gone completely.
Straight up.
Is there another party to take over from the ANC that will lead South Africa into prosperity? Well, that's a conversation for another day. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, ladies and gentlemen, what you think about all of this. And yeah, give me your thoughts. Do you think it's an education problem? Do you think it's more than that? Do you think it's less than that? Let me know. Let's have a discussion in the comment section. Leave a like on this video while you're there, and also share this video far and wide, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this kind of content. I've got more content coming your way. And with all that being said, thank you for watching. Your newsflash is in.
First one down the slide wins. Hop in.
Is the water cold?
What water? Hey, let's get some tea.
Sure.
Man, you can really get lost in here. That's for sure.
Who's that?
That's Chauncey. Have a seat. My friend and I love this kind. Stop.
Imaginary friend?
Not quite.